It's midday. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Citi Prime News, which is live from our studios at number 11 Dr. Morton Loop in Adaraka, Accra. It's also live on all our partner stations across the country and around the globe on citinewsroom.com. I am Wilma Obuobi Sakoman, and this afternoon I'm here with
Charles Owusukumi.
Coming up over the next 1 hour, Health Minister scheduled to appear in Parliament on March 7 to brief House on the shortage of vaccines across the country.
The Honorable Minister of Health has been scheduled to attend upon the House and apprise members on steps taken to address the shortage of childhood vaccines in the country.
Also coming up, Association of Metropolitan Municipal and District Coordinating Directors calls for the immediate seizure and 5% deduction on gross salaries of its members of the Pimpamsie Fund by Clocksard. Still ahead, former Chief Justice Sophia Ekufu says monies allocated for the celebration of the 65th Independence Day would have been better spent if it was invested in projects. And later, residents of Makafi South in the Wejagbawe municipality in Accra want authorities to urgently construct storm drains in the area to prevent flooding. Stay tuned as we bring you details of all that and more on the Citi Prime News, which is also live on all our partner stations. In the Upper West region, we're on Tumpani Radio, 88.5 FM in Nadoli. In the Upper East, you're listening to us on Rekas, 92.1 FM in Bongo Namu. In the Northern region, we're on North Star Radio, 92.1 FM in Tamale. And in the Northeast, we're on Nobia FM, 98.1 in Nalerigu. In the Western region, we're on Beach 105.5 FM in Takoradi. In the Ashanti region, you are listening to us on Focus 94.3 FM and Orange 107.9 FM, all in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we're on Sela Radio 97.1 FM in Dabala and Holy FM 98.5 in Aplao. And in the Savannah region, we're on Kasha 99.5 FM in Damongo.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Many thanks for staying with us. We'll settle for the details of our stories now. The Minister of Health, Kweku Agyeman-Manu, has been scheduled to appear before Parliament on Tuesday, March 7, 2023, to brief the House on the shortage of vaccines in the country. This comes after the failure of the minister to appear before the House on March 1. Presenting the business statement of the House before the ensuing week, the Deputy Majority Leader, Alexander Fenyumakin, announced that the minister would be available in Parliament on Tuesday.
Constituents may be eager to witness an event like this, and members may be compelled to make arrangement for them to enter the public gallery. The Business Committee strongly advise against this and would encourage members to urge their constituents to watch the event on television. The Speaker, we also agreed at the committee meeting that a debate on the message of the State of the Nation, thanking His Excellency the President, will commence on Thursday. Which debates will begin with a member moving a motion for same, and it will last for 6 days. That is from Thursday to Thursday, the 9th of March, to Friday, the 17th of March, 2023. Briefing by the Minister for Health. So, Speaker, the Honorable Minister of Health has been scheduled to attend upon the House and apprise members on steps taken to address the shortage of childhood vaccines in the country on Tuesday, the 7th of March.
You had the Deputy Majority Leader, Alexander Afenyumakin.
Still in Parliament, the Speaker of the House, Alban Bagbin, has admitted 2 private members' motions filed by the minority group in the House. This includes a request for the House to constitute a committee to conduct an inquiry into the National Cathedral project and all related matters, and to make appropriate recommendations for the consideration of Parliament. The second motion is requesting for the Finance Minister to present to Parliament the details of government's domestic debt exchange program. Now, Education Minister Dr. Yao Osei Educhum says over 500,000 BEC graduates have been placed in various senior high schools across the country under the school placement system. Dr. Educhum says the number has increased significantly following the introduction of the free SHS policy. Speaking at the 2022 Presidential BECE Awards in Accra, Dr. Yao Educhum says the free SHS policy has opened many opportunities for children to attain secondary education.
Years back, we could have had an opportunity of seeing students who will come up here to be congratulated, but we have not made it to a high school. Today, that cannot happen. Your free senior high school have sent all these young men and women to various high schools across the country. Seeing when free senior high school started, 2017, there were 830,000 students enrolled in our high schools across the country. This year, we've had a record placement of over 500,000 students. See, the 830 was for 3 years. This year alone, 500,000 have found schools, and we are waiting anxiously for them to enroll in our various high schools across the country. That tells you something about what is taking place in this country. Mr. President, your vision is seeing fruition, and these young men and women have found themselves in our various high schools, technical schools, and they are studying, and their brains and talents are going to be used for the benefit of this nation, so that this nation can live through to its motto of freedom and justice.
That was the Education Minister, Dr. Yao Osei Educhum.
Meanwhile, President Akufo-Addo says government will continue to implement policies and programs geared towards making education better in Ghana. Nana Akufo-Addo says education remains a topmost priority for his government.
My government places and will continue to place great importance on access to quality education for all of Ghana's children. Just as I told our award winners from previous years, today's youth running barefoot to school could be a future leader of business, industry, the arts, or government. Education is the equalizer of opportunity. I'm in this position as President of the Republic because of education. Education is the most effective way to change the fortunes of our country and continent and join the group of developed nations and continents. I can assure you today that my government will continue to take your education and the educations of millions of Ghanaian children seriously. We will continue to invest heavily in education, thereby help secure our country's future. To the school heads and staff, both teaching and non-teaching, through whose hard work and direction these children have made it this far, I'll appeal to you to continue to work hard in grooming these young boys and girls and help exploit their potential to the maximum. You're an important part of their life story, and their successes or otherwise will be a reflection on you. To the parents of these brilliant children, I say well done for your hard work and dedication, and for motivating and encouraging them along the way. You have every reason to share in their pride. I encourage you to continue to make the necessary sacrifices for them.
You heard President Akufo-Addo.
Now, a former Chief Justice, Sophia Akufo, says the country's money would have been better spent if it was invested in projects instead of expending it on Independence Day parades. The capital of the Volta region, Ho, will on Monday, 6th March, play host to the national celebration of Ghana's 66th independence anniversary, while other regions will also host their respective derbys to mark the day. Speaking to Citi News on the sidelines of a public lecture organized by the University of Ghana on the country's 66th independence, the former Chief Justice, Sophia Akufo, said although it is good to mark the occasion, infrastructure projects and other investments will have better served the populace.
Yes, we should be. We should be celebrating our Independence Day, but gathering and marching, that's not much. I think whatever money is going to be spent on this celebration, everybody going to the Volta region. If they had selected, let's say, a deprived district, built a new school there, selected a ramshackle district hospital or health center, and upgraded and then named it Independence School, Independence Hospital, to be good. And then every year they pick a region, pick a project and do it. I think that will be money better spent, if it is to be spent at all. This would inure to the benefit of the people directly, and it will also last. They're going to talk, march, eat, and come back, and that's all.
Sophia Akufo is a former Chief Justice of Ghana.
Now, the Ghana Police Service is on a manhunt for a private security man who has absconded from the custody of the Manette Police Station. Pius Ayoma was on March 1, 2023, put before the High Court presided over by Justice Lydia Osei Mafo and was remanded into prison custody upon the prosecution's prayer to enable prison officers transport him to court easily. But information gathered by Citi News suggests that after the court granted the request for the accused to be remanded into prison's custody, he was sent to Manette Police Station awaiting a court warrant for the transfer to be made. Pius Ayoma is reported to have escaped whilst with the police.
To some politics now. Former National Communications Officer of the National Democratic Congress, Solomon Nkansa, has taken a swipe at the Dean of the NDC Regional Chairman Caucus, Kujo Japong, for his comments at the John Mahama campaign launch yesterday. The Dean, in his address at the ceremony, asked flag-bearer hopefuls of the party to rescind their decision to contest John Mahama for the position. He explains that they are not qualified to lead the party because they have never served as members of parliament. But Solomon Nkansa, who also doubles as a communications member of Dr. Kwabena Dufour's campaign, expressed disgust at the comments, arguing that Dr. Kwabena Dufour has served the country in better ways. Here are excerpts of the post on social media made by the former National Communications Officer of the National Democratic Congress, Solomon Nkansa.
One would have thought that this so-called campaign launch gives you and your surrogates the opportunity to tell the new Mahama story and also make the case of how you intend to salvage Ghana's ailing economy or inspire hope in the Ghanaian dream. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. The former Bolibamboy MP chose the pedestrian walkway, never disappoint to stoop so low when he's least expected in an occasion as this. Dr. Kwabena Dufour, before now and then, has paid his dues to the party and the country, and he has the brains to repair a current catastrophic economy. If you want to smear his reputation, use people of his caliber and at least class of his integrity. Until then, Dr. Dufour is raising the standard and is coming to give us victory in 2024.
Those were excerpts of a Facebook post by former National Communications Officer of the National Democratic Congress, read by Citi News' Akosia Ochre.
Now, the Association of Metropolitan Municipal and District Coordinating Directors, ASCOD, is demanding an immediate halt in the deduction of 5% on the gross salaries of its members for the Pimpamsie Fund by CLOCSAG. In a letter addressed to the Executive Secretary of the Civil and Local Government Staff Association of Ghana, CLOCSAG, ASCOD, said members were against the wholesale deduction of their salaries without consent. It has therefore demanded immediate refund of all monies. We are joined in studio by my colleague Caleb Kuda to tell us more. Now, Caleb, what more is in this letter?
Right. So the association actually also complains about some administrative missteps that they think went wrong with respect to a recent Congress that was held. That is the 14th Quadrennial Delegates Congress organized at the University of Cape Coast from the 3rd to the 6th of January 2023. They say it discredited the association due to the undemocratic manner the organizers conducted the Congress. They went on to say some persons were appointed into office without due process. So they talk about how undemocratic that process was. And then, most importantly, they are demanding an immediate cease in the recent deduction of 5% on their gross salary of the month of February 2023, which we just mentioned earlier as the Pimpam CF Fund. They are saying that it was done without the consent of their members, and so they are unaware of that. 85% of the membership, the ASCOT forms 85% of the membership of CLOCSAG, and they are demanding the immediate halt of this deduction. We've reached out to CLOCSAG's executive secretary for his response, and he says they've not seen the letter. It's important to state that the letter is dated 24th of February 2023, but they say they've not received the letter, and so they are unable to speak to it. So that's just briefly what ASCOT is demanding.
Thank you very much for that. That was my colleague Caleb Kuda giving us details of a letter from the Association of Metropolitan Municipal and District Coordinating Directors demanding an immediate halt in the deduction of 5% on the gross salaries of its members for the Pimpam CA Fund by CLOCSAG.
The Right to Information Commission has fined the Lands Commission an amount of 100,000 Ghana cedis for failing to release information upon request. Civil society organization Occupy Ghana requested that the Lands Commission provide information on all released public lands since the coming into force of the Fourth Republic, but the Lands Commission failed to grant the pressure group's request for information. The Right to Information Commission has condemned the Lands Commission's attitude and described it as a gross disregard under the law. In view of this, the RTI Commission has therefore directed the Lands Commission to provide all the demands of the pressure group.
Now, the Integrated Customs Management System, ICUMS, is set to undergo scheduled maintenance on Saturday, March 4, 2023. This is according to a statement released by the operators of the ICUMS system, Ghana Link Network Services Limited. The maintenance is scheduled to begin at 12:01 a.m. and is expected to be completed on the same day at 11:59 p.m. During the maintenance period, users will experience intermittent downtimes and may not be able to access all features of the systems. The ICUMS system administrator has stated that this maintenance is necessary to improve the system's performance, stability, and security, ensuring it continues to meet the needs of all stakeholders. The ICUMS is an automated customs management system that facilitates the clearance of goods at Ghana's ports. It is a collaboration between the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, GPHA, and the Ghana Shippers Authority since its implementation. The system has been instrumental in reducing clearance times and improving revenue collection at the ports. The ICUMS system administrator has assured stakeholders that their team will work tirelessly to ensure that the maintenance is completed as quickly as possible and normal operations resume after. This was contained in a statement shared with Citi News. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News live from our studios at Adabraka in Accra. I am Wilma Obubi Sakoman here with Charles Owusu Kumi. Still ahead in the bulletin, residents of McCarthy South in the Wajabaw municipality want authorities to urgently construct storm drains in the area to prevent flooding. We have details of this and others shortly. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Ajwapa, what's all this condom business? Oh, I've told her over and over again that she won't get pregnant, and she's still insisting. Oh, isn't she the same person who said we would not have sex till we go out for at least 2 years? For all this time? Oh, and she still can't trust me enough? Ama, when I try to do something small, no, condom this, condom that. So handsome man like me, she probably thinks I have HIV.
Using a condom will protect you and your partner.
Condoms are effective for protection against a wide spectrum of STIs and HIV infection. Don't take risks. Use a condom every time. Always come prepared.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission.
Keys. What could be simpler than a key? Who doesn't have a key? A car key, an office key, a drawer key. But there's one key that rules them all. The house key. The key to a place we call home. The key to the home where everything comes together. The key to a home that is our own. A home where we make life happen with our families and loved ones. Adoha has been working hard for over 30 years to make home ownership within reach for many. Say yes to property with Adoha. Your dream home is one call away. Your dream home is a few clicks away. Visit our Accra project, The Place, by calling 030-2789-757.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Now, residents of McCarthy South, a community behind Marlam Junction in the Wagerboy municipality in the Greater Accra region, want authorities to urgently construct storm drains in the area to prevent flooding. The residents say they are forced to vacate their homes during the raining season, a situation they are unwilling to go through this year. Citi News' Calvis Tete has more in the following report.
The McCarthy South area, close to Marlam Junction, is one of the areas that experiences massive flooding when it rains. During the rainy season last year, some homes within the McCarthy South enclave experienced devastating flooding. Occupants of some of the houses within the enclave were forced to vacate their homes. According to some residents who spoke to Citi News, the construction of adequate drains within the enclave is the solution to the problem. The residents, with support from the Wagerboy Municipal Assembly, have taken some remedial steps by dredging storm drains within the enclave to reduce the impact when the rain begins. Here are some residents speaking to Citi News about the impact of last year's rain and why they want adequate storm drains constructed.
Some years back, everybody can attest to it that Marlam Junction, there has been this flooding issue until when the government intervened, and then they did something about it, which is the main road. The main flooding was at the main road. That problem has been solved, and then here, the water couldn't pass here well. So we will still appeal to the government. It's doing well, but it should try as much as possible to come and do the gutter for us. If we are able to, dig the gutter before the rain, I don't think we will have any problem when the rain comes.
We have been going through so many challenges, so many flood issues has also taken so many people out of the area, and it looks like anytime we try for them to even get involved in helping to maybe work on the drainage, it has caused so many problems. It does not just flood in the area, it enters into their home, and some of them, I think, even me, my house, I think it has been the worst issues for me. Even when the rain stopped, it was still in there because there were no much drainage that was connecting into the mainstream. Anytime it's about to rain, all you have to do is to start packing your things.
The Wagerboy Municipal Assembly says although the construction of big storm drain is beyond their capabilities, they will channel the request to the appropriate quarters for redress.
If you look at the government's plan when it comes to the Gamma and then the gas lake, some big rivers are going to have some big drains constructed on them. Those drains that they are mentioning is beyond the Assembly's financial capacity. So we've sent those proposals to the appropriate ministry to come in, which I believe yesterday the Minister for Works and Housing visited some areas, and I believe in no time those areas will have some drains like the ones that we have at Alajo, so that our people can have some relief anytime it rains or anytime the dam is filled.
The Wagerboy Municipal Assembly and some residents within the McCarthy South area are dredging the gutter in the community. Community members are also advocating for a storm drain. Calvis Tete, Citi News, Wagerboy.
In fulfillment of its core mandate as a technical university, the Faculty of Engineering of the Takoradi Technical University, TTU, has invented an oil and gas leakage detector system to aid the detection and easy safeguarding of petroleum installations within the Ghanaian petroleum industry. Speaking to City News at the maiden TTU Technology Fair, where the oil leakage detector system was outdoored, the Vice Chancellor of Takoradi Technical University, Reverend Professor John Frank Eshon, said the innovation gives credence to Takoradi to the university's niche area of petroleum training. Hence, the university will continue to innovate relevant technologies to support the petroleum industry. City News' Western Regional Correspondent, Akwesi Enim Ejay, has more.
Takoradi Technical University is currently the only technical university with its niche area in petroleum training. Coincidentally, the institution is located in the hub of Ghana's petroleum industry, with major oil and gas installations like the Ghana Gas Processing Plant and the ENI's onshore gas receiving facilities located not far from the university, coupled with a 111-kilometer gas pipeline from Atoabo to Abuasi Thermal Plant. Takoradi Technical University has been researching into how to reduce the potential danger of leakages. For the Takoradi Technical University, today's Tech Fair, which is a maiden activity in the life of the university, shows that it has not only matured, but also putting rare tangibles to the things that they are teaching students over here, such as this very oil and gas detector, which the university has actually invented.
What we are exhibiting today, we have what we call oil and gas leakage detector. I think the import of this is to detect leakages in oil and gas pipelines, being it overground or underground. It works on a GSM platform where a sensor will detect the leakage and send immediate signal to the operators, identifying the exact location of the leakage for the necessary steps to be taken to correct it. After this fair, we intend sending them to the various oil and gas industry for them to come, or we will go there and then demonstrate what our prototype detector can do to them, then possibly take their feedback for the improvement of the products, and then possibly commercialization of it. We also have what we call the car theft arrestor. Basically, we all know we have what we call an immobilizer, that if we want to steal somebody's car, at a point the car will get stuck. But we have advanced this technology by adding an arrestor, where at a point when the car stops, the thief moving that vehicle cannot leave. So the thief will stay in the car will send a signal to the owner of the vehicle where the car has been parked and where the location is and the distance from where the person is to the place, so that quickly you can arrange and go for your vehicle.
Speaking to City News on the sidelines of the TTU Maiden Tech Fair, where other innovations from all the 5 faculties of the university were outdoored, the Vice Chancellor of TTU said the innovation addresses industry needs.
As a technical university, it's one of our aim is to collaborate with industry. The academia and industry linkage should be strengthened. It is stated in our act. So this morning we are trying to activate what is we set up to do. And as I said, this will not be the only fair. It will continue from time to time, so that we'll bring industry closer to academia, so that we can be able to develop the country.
The general manager of Kantanga Group of Companies, Francis Kojokujeji, who was the special guest at the fair, while praising TTU for the numerous innovations, said Kantanga will soon collaborate with TTU to produce EV car batteries as well as tire manufacturing.
Kantanga and TTU are already technical collaborators. In fact, they did well in attending our previously held technical and then innovation exhibition at Awush. And then we deemed it fit to come here and then collaborate with them on that same grounds. In fact, if the two institutions collaborate, what we are looking at potentially is one of the most important parts that we use in our automotive assembly. And I'm talking about the automotive tires. If these two institutions to collaborate and just manufacture tires for the entire nation. You can imagine how much money we are going to save, how much dollar we are going to save, and how much strength the city is going to be from the importation of ties. So I would very much like it that TTU and Kantanka will collaborate, will involve the nation, the states, tripartite collaboration, and see if something better is going to come out of it. And I believe it will happen.
For City News, I'm Akwasi Jenim. Takrade.
And back in Accra, in the studios of Adabraka, I am Wilma Obuobi-Sakoman, here with Charles Owusu-Kumi. We'll continue with the bulletin. Some students who have been posted to senior high schools within the Boku municipality have refused to accept their admission as a result of the conflict in the area. The protracted chieftaincy dispute in Boko has left scores of people dead and others sustaining injuries. About 10 people have been reported dead in recent disturbances. Students posted to the area have since rejected the admissions offered them. In an interview with Citi News, the Upper East Regional Coordinator for the Free Senior High School Program, Kofi Ayamga Anamboyeni, said the students who would accept admissions would be taken through counseling.
Because of the insecurity, we spoke to them that since they started the conflict, we have never had it on campus. So if they could go, so others agreed that they would go, but a few of them still nursing that fear that they wouldn't go, and we're working.
So what steps are being taken to so that?
And when they come, we'll cancel them. And it is also true that the conflict has never on in of the senior high schools campus, and then they don't need for into entertain fears.
Kofi Ayamga Anamboyini is the Upper East Regional Coordinator for the Free Senior High School Program.
Now, the Ghana Hajj Board has announced that Muslims who will embark on this year's holy pilgrimage to Mecca will pay a sum of 75,000 Ghana cedis. Speaking to Citi News, the head of communications at the Pilgrim Affairs Office of Ghana, Alhaji Abdul Rahman Gomda, explained that the package includes travel and accommodation. He urged prospective pilgrims to pay before the deadline, which is 30th April 2023, through any of the accredited Hajj agents nationwide.
Cost of the Hajj package has been pegged at 75,000 Ghana today, which in dollar terms is $6,500. Now, I think one should take note of the fact that when you go into town now, Forest Bureau or Black Market, you cannot get $1,500 for 75,000 Ghana cedis. You should get it a little over 80,000 Ghana cedis. There is a certain subtle arrangement to cushion the economic realities on the ground for the prospective pilgrims. That is how come we have it at 6,500. So for 75,000 Ghana cedis, it is still on the low side, considering the fact that the CD dollar rate is higher than how we pegged it at between 11 and 12 point something Ghana cedis to the dollar. Last year, the quota was 3,069. This year, we have it at 6,000. And last year and previous years, government subsidized the Hajj package for pilgrims. This year, it is impossible for government to do so as a result of the economic realities on the ground, the worldwide economic realities, and especially in our circumstances in Ghana.
You heard the head of communications at the Pilgrim Affairs Office of Ghana, Alhaji Abdul Rahman Gomda.
You're listening to the Citi Prime News live from our studios at Adabraka in Accra and also on all our partner stations across the country. Now, some stories we've been bringing is that the health minister has been scheduled to appear in Parliament on March 7 to brief the House on the shortage of vaccines across the country. Also, the Association of Metropolitan, Municipal and District Coordinating Directors have called for the immediate seizure of 5% deductions on gross salaries of its members for the PMPMCA fund by Clocksack. Now, the former Chief Justice Sophia Ekufuor also says Monies allocated for the celebration of the 66th Independence Day celebration would have been better spent if it was invested in projects. Also, residents of McCarthy South in the Wejagbawa municipality are calling on authorities to urgently construct storm drains in the area to prevent flooding. This is still the Citi Prime News, live from our studios at Adabaka in Accra. Still ahead in the bulletin, Heritage Caravan takes off tomorrow. We'll bring you details of that and more shortly. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Charlie, so the first thing they do when you wake up is check out highlights. And then all you go remember, I for take the kids to school. He left small, you drop the ball, boss. You go fit meet your deadlines without ever missing the game. Now you be true, boss. You then make it to date night on game night, but still they catch the game, right? Hey, Charlie, boss. You they bring you the best leagues for any screen top, wherever you day. From only 59.99 Ghana cedis per month. Live from Super Sport on Showmax Pro. Sign up on showmax.com.
Charlie, whatever you do with your data, do it twice because Vodafone is giving you double data in the Vodafone Too Much Family Package with a top-up of only 120 Ghana cedis in addition to your monthly Vodafone fixed broadband subscription. You will get twice the data for twice the fun and experience. 100% bonus data for your broadband is exactly what Vodafone fixed broadband is giving you. This means it's double the experience when you browse, stream, and download. Yes, you heard right. 100% bonus data with just 120 Ghana cedis top up. That's what double data gets you in the Vodafone Too Much Family Package. Dial *900# and follow the prompt to subscribe, or visit fbb.vodafone.com.gh or top up on your My Vodafone app.
Vodafone, further together.
It's creamy, creamy plus, delicious milk, creamy plus for you.
Creamy Plus is a delightfully delicious option whenever and wherever the occasion calls for milk. For your quick meals on the go or quality time at the dining table, jazz up your favorite Gary soakings, mashed kenke, cereals, and all hot and cold beverages with a creamy, protein-rich, healthy option of milk. Creamy Plus evaporated milk with vegetable fat is all you need to stay on the go. Creamy Plus evaporated milk is now available in a shop near you.
For bulk purchases, please contact Les Farm Distributors at Medina Ritz Junction on 0501 682 522, or Grace has found us at Akoko Photo Dansoman on 0245 162 747.
Creamy Plus for you.
Creamy Plus evaporated milk.
This message has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. This is the Citi Prime News live from our studios at Adabraka in Accra. I am Wilma Obubi-Sakoman here with Charles Owusu Kumi. Now, some stories we've been bringing you. The health minister has been scheduled to appear in Parliament on March 7 to brief the House on the shortage of vaccines across the country. Also, the Association of Metropolitan Municipal and District Coordinating Directors have called for the immediate seizure and 5% deduction on gross salaries of its members for the Pimpam C Fund by Clocksag. Charles has more stories.
The Ghana Traditional Council is demanding the cessation of construction of a purported hostel facility at Agbogboshi in Accra for headquarters, popularly referred to as Kayaye. The council, in a statement under the hand of the Gamanche and president of the Ghana Traditional Council, King Taki Teiko Tru II, says it was not consulted before commencement of construction works and also contends that it is not in the interest of the Ghana state. It adds that the 40-acre land was promised to, to the Ghana state for the construction of a different facility. Consequently, it says a new site outside the city should be sought if any person or groups intend to proceed with the project of building a hostel facility for Kayaye. The Ghana Council had also in the past raised concerns over the construction of the hostel facility project for Kayaye in the capital city. The council contends that the construction of the accommodation will encourage more unskilled female youth migration to the southern part of the country. It maintains that a safe solution to rural-urban migration is the provision of vocational technical skills within the regions where the unskilled female youth migrate from.
Now, a civil society organization, Ghana Federation of Labor, says it fears many indigenous businesses may be crippled if government goes ahead to pass into law the Excise Duty Amendment Bill 2022. The bill seeks to amend the Excise Duty Act 2014 Act 878 to revise the excise tax rate for several products where from some hitherto did not attract excise duty. For instance, the new bill will introduce a 20% excise tax on bottled water and locally produced fruit drinks. However, speaking to Citi News, the General Secretary of the Ghana Federation of Labor, Abraham Kumpson, believes a broader consultation must be done.
The imposition of 20% of the ex-factory price, what some describe as sugar tax on sweetened beverages, and an increase of the already existing 17.5% on non-alcoholic beverages to 20% as proposed will ultimately be passed on to the consuming children's parents, because the children who take these sweet things for school, so the parents whose dwindling purchasing power will lead to decline in sales. Because if they don't buy, how do you market your product? You can sell. We realize that the main cause of this process of factories and these challenges has to do with the multiple taxes that have been imposed on these industries. And the taxes keep increasing almost on daily basis.
Abraham Kumpson is the General Secretary of the Ghana Federation of Labor.
The Cybersecurity Experts Association has welcomed intervention of the police following the arrest of 12 suspects impersonating as high-profile persons through fake social media accounts to defraud people. The association described cybercrime as a threat to national security and indicated that it is high time their activities are clamped down to the barest minimum. Speaking to Citi News, the president of the Cybersecurity Experts Association, Abubakar Isaka, indicated that it is ready to collaborate with the Ghana Police Service with their expertise to reduce the rise of cybercrimes across the country.
So as a professional group, we see this as a very great threat to our national security. We see it as a very great threat in the cyberspace as far as Ghana is concerned. And we commend the investigative department, the cyber investigative department of the Ghana Police Service for doing this great job. We have been doing it on our own and trying our possible best to assist them in getting all of them. But this information that has come up now, we are happy with that, and we endorse them. The information we are gathering is that we have to get the additional accomplices that are associated with this act, and our services are open. They can get in touch with us for us to also assist them more getting some of these people.
That was the president of Cybersecurity Experts Association, Abubakar Isaka.
Now, the Ghana Mine Workers Union is calling on the National Labour Commission to order management of Sunun Asogli Power Limited to reinstate its executives who have been dismissed. The union says it has, since the last quarter of 2021, initiated the process of unionizing the workers of Sunun Asogli Power Ghana Limited, but the process has been fraught with dismissals, threats, and intimidation by their employer. Speaking to Citi News, the General Secretary of the Ghana Mine Workers Union, Abdul Mumin Gbana, said the actions of management of Sunun Asogli Power Ghana Limited is an infringement on their human rights and contrary to the labor law. This is still the Citi Prime News live from our studios at Adabraka and also on all our partner stations across the country. We are live in the Upper West region on Tumpani Radio 88.5 in Nadoli and in the Upper East region on Rekas 92.1 FM in Bongo Namu. In the Northern region, we are on North Star Radio 92.1 in Tamale. Charles has more stories.
The Ministry of Interior says an amount of 35 million Ghana cedis was accrued from the sale of application forms to persons who were seeking to be recruited into the various security agencies in the year 2021. The ministry says this includes the Ghana Police Service, the Immigration Service, the Ghana Prison Service, and the National Fire Service. The Minister of Interior, Ambrose Derry, provided the details of the funds while answering questions on the floor of Parliament.
Mr. Speaker, total amount of money that accrued during the 2021 recruitment exercise to the Ghana Prison Service, the Ghana National Fire Service, Ghana Immigration Service, and the Ghana Police Service was 35,066,066 cedis, 50 pesos. The breakdown is as follows. Ghana Prison Service, 2,534,745 cedis, 50 pesos. Ghana National Fire Service, 6,570,200 cedis. Ghana Immigration Service, 13,887,121 cedis. Ghana Police Service, 12,074,000 cedis, making the total that I stated.
We heard Interior Minister Ambrose Derry.
Let's take you back to the Sanan Asogli Power story and listen to what the General Secretary has been saying.
The reinstatement of all our executives who have been dismissed, and we also expect the Commission to order the company to enter into negotiations and also ensure that they deduct subscriptions to the union. And these are obligations under the law. It is not for Sunan Asogli to decide whether they want to do it or not do it. Sunan Asogli, if you trace the history of the company, this is a company that is notorious for not respecting workers' rights, and they will not allow union formation at the workplace. And so what is happening today is not new to us. But the truth of the matter remains that we are operating in the Republic of Ghana. It's a democratic country. Okay, the rule of law works in this country. Workers' rights must be respected at all times. And for that matter, the rights of the workers of Sunan Asogli ought to be respected. And so it is not for Sunan Asogli to decide whether workers should join a union or not. Once the workers have voluntarily decided so, that right must be respected. We are requesting them to enter into negotiations bordering on the salary and conditions of service of our members.
That was the General Secretary of the Ghana Mines Workers Union, Abdul Mumin Bana, who is speaking, calling for the National Labour Commission to order management of the Sunan Asogli Power Ghana Limited to reinstate its executives who have been dismissed.
Now, education think tank Africa Education Watch says it is in favor of the former President John Dramani Mahama's plan to allow junior high school graduates to select their schools only after seeing their results. The former president, who is a flag-bearer hopeful of the National Democratic Congress during his campaign launch in Ho yesterday, indicated that it will be prudent for students to see their results before selecting their schools to avert the recurring challenges confronting the school placement system. This is the director of the Africa Education Watch, Kofi Asare. He believes the step is in the right direction.
It so happens that the results are released only for them to realize that the results are that bad. They still want to push through and get those schools because they have their mind fixated on attending such schools. And so, in development practice, one of the approaches that you adapt in ensuring that citizens take informed decisions, realistic decisions of choice, is to ensure that they have, as much as practicable, the full component of information they need to enable them to take that decision. They need to know their BEC results. So if you know your BEC results, and you know that you had a 20 or 22, and you know that you don't meet the cutoff in terms of raw scores to attend PSEC, you don't select PSEC in the first place. In that case, you go and select a school that you know you meet their cutoff. Simple. We believe that we should reset the academic system such that BEC candidates only have the opportunity of selecting their schools when they have seen their results. And it will help reduce the pressure on category schools. It will help lower expectations. It will also reduce the incidence of students being very, very disappointed that they did not get the schools of their choice. And an idea about the kind of school that, based on their results, they can meritoriously have access to.
You heard the Executive Director of Education think tank, Kofi Asare, supporting former President John Mahama's calls for BECE students to see their results before they select their schools.
Now, the Member of Parliament for Boko Central, Mahama Ayariga, says the majority group in Parliament has not provided any sound justification for the abolishment of the guarantor system by the Electoral Commission. The EC, with its new proposed constitutional instrument, is seeking to use the Ghana card as a source document for registration onto the voters' register for the upcoming polls. The policy has been fiercely opposed by the minority group in Parliament due to the challenges in the acquisition of the Ghana card. Meanwhile, the majority contends that the new CI will not disenfranchise the citizenry, but rather sanitize the electoral process. The Boko Central lawmaker, Mahama Yariga, has been reacting to the defense put up by majority in Parliament for the EC.
Because listening to them, I don't think he makes any sound argument why we should take out the guarantor system. That is really the issue. We all know that any Ghanaian who is desirous of registering to vote, if the person has a Ghana card, that is what they will first present to the EC to be registered. It is when they don't have it that they are compelled to adopt alternative mechanisms, which is the guarantor system. So we are arguing that don't make it the sole source document. Rather, let's all focus on the NIA being able to cover everybody. And if they cover everybody, indeed, those covered will go with their Ghana cards.
You had the Member of Parliament for Boko Central, Mahama Ayarga. Now, some patrons of this year's 2023 Heritage Caravan are set to experience the most exciting road trip of their lives. Now, as the caravan hits the streets from tomorrow, some of the patrons have been speaking on the City Business Show the City Breakfast Show early this morning with Bernard Avle to tell about their anticipation for tomorrow.
What is it about the caravan that excites you?
Everything.
Everything.
The
food,
jama,
the jama,
the bus experience, the hotels, the pool.
Just you are going to encounter all these things.
Everything.
Hey, Charlie, you mean, pal? Wow. So, how long have you been here about the caravan?
I'll say the first day.
On the first day?
Yes, and I've been wanting to go, but you know, it's not easy getting time off.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks to my boss Salom for actually.
Oh, your boss gave you a leave.
Everybody is thanking Saleh.
1 week leave.
I'm actually taking about a month.
A month. Which department in the bank you work?
Treasury.
Hey, and they are letting you go.
Market. That's why it has been difficult.
You are in treasury.
Difficult. Yeah, exactly.
And your boss has allowed you to go and chill for 1 week.
Enjoy yourself.
Last year I didn't take so.
Last year you couldn't take a leave.
Yeah, I couldn't take so many days.
Wow. Yeah. Are you going alone or going with a significant other? Oh, that's a coded.
Or you go and find something.
I don't want to know. We want to know.
Oh, let's see how it goes.
Rhoda, are you available? You are searching. You are in the course of what are you?
I mean, I'm in between.
You are in between.
Yeah, I'm in between. So,
and he works in treasury. The guy did treasury.
Charlie.
You know treasury. They allocate where the money goes.
Thank you.
They are the bank's banker.
Thank you.
They are a banker's banker.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey. Big man.
You know the story. So are you going alone? You are going somebody?
I'm with my sister.
Oh, okay.
Victoria.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Your sister actually, your real sister.
Yes, my mother and father's daughter.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Oh, you've been planning this thing for a long time, eh?
Yeah.
Which region are you most looking forward to most?
All the regions.
Have you been to all the regions in the country?
6.
You've been to which regions haven't you been to yet?
The 5 northern regions.
Oh, you've not been to Upper East,
No,
Upper West, North and South.
no.
Hey, then you will enjoy. Oh, you will enjoy. You will enjoy. You will
Great
enjoy.
experience.
What about you? Which regions are you looking forward to?
I've actually remained in the southern part, so I'm
Your whole
looking
life?
forward my whole life.
So you've never been to BA?
I've never been to BA.
Oh, Charlie,
Attended
you need to.
Ogasco,
Oh.
you know, yeah. So
You've
I've
never
not
been to BA?
No, I've never been to BA. I've never crossed that side.
So beyond.
Have you been to Kumasi?
I've been to Kumasi.
After Kumasi.
So after Kumasi,
zero. So
I see.
And I've been looking to tour Ghana. So I think the caravan is really
wow. So you because from the route they gave, you do Volta. Have you been to Volta region?
I've been to Volta region.
And then you do Eastern. You've been to Eastern, I'm sure. Look forward to Tamale. Tamale is nice.
So I hear.
Bolga is amazing. I mean, you will enjoy yourself because it means that everything's a discovery for you.
Everything.
Wow.
Everything.
Now, those were some patrons of the 2023 Heritage Caravan speaking on their expectation. Meanwhile, Managing Director of Citi FM and Citi TV, Samuel Atamensa, has been chronicling what the trip entails.
They're doing the Kente Museum.
Oh, okay.
Launching the Kente Museum together.
There's an event.
Yes, we have an event, the Kente Museum, and then they're doing a mini Kente festival.
Wow.
With the EU office in Ghana and the Ghana Tourism Authority.
You mean you are diving at the deep end? So straight into a festival?
Yes. So it's there.
Wow.
And then from there we move to Kumasi. So we sleep in Kumasi.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
so because when you're going to Bonyure, you not actually get into Kumasi town.
No.
You branch at some Ejisu side. You branch and go into. Wow. So let's take it one by one. So I was just looking at some of the things you can do in some of the places. And by the way, a lot of votes are coming for the Central Regional tourist sites, as I said. And I'll come Central Region later. So we start a caravan in Accra. We move to the Volta region. And then we drive through the Eastern region into Bonyure to take part in a festival that is being organized at Bonyure. And I was at Bonyure last year. The Oman Hini was there. The whole town welcomed us to the place.
That's where the Ashanti version of the Kete is.
Wonderful. So that's day 2 on Sunday. And then from there, where do you go next?
From Kumasi, we go to Bogatanga.
Your thing is on way, pal. You do Akosobu, Amejope, Bonyere, and then you go to Bolga.
Yeah.
This year is on way.
You see, the whole concept is, the experience is in the road.
It's a road trip.
The road trip is the experience.
It's a road trip.
The sightseeing.
It's a complement to the thing. But the whole experience
thing's on the road.
Is on the road. And that's the thing. So we travel from Kumasi straight to Bolgatanga. So that's where we sleep.
You do? Hey, Charlie.
That was the Managing Director of Citi FM and Citi TV, Samuel Atta Mensah, who was chronicling what the Heritage Caravan 2023 is going to entail. Charles has more stories.
The Nigeria Supreme Court has ordered the federal government to allow old 200, 500 and 1,000 naira notes to remain in circulation till December 31, 2023. The Apex Court also nullified the federal government's naira redesign policy, declaring it as an affront to their constitution. The court also held that the unconstitutional use of powers by President Buhari on the naira redesigning has breached the fundamental rights of the Nigerian citizens in various ways. 16 states of the Federation instituted the suit to challenge the legality or otherwise of the introduction of the policy. The 16 states led by Kaduna, Kogi, and Zamfara prayed the Apex Court to annul this and set aside the policy on the ground that it is inflicting hardships on innocent Nigerians. The naira redesign was one of the policies widely condemned ahead of Nigeria's elections.
And that's it for the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studios at Adabaka in Accra. We're also live on all our partner stations across the country. Now, for more news, you can log on to our website, citinewsroom.com. I am Wilma Obubi-Sakoman, and this afternoon I was here with
Charles Owusukumi.
Many thanks for doing the listening. Up next is the afternoon's edition of the Citi Business News. Have a good afternoon.
Citi 97.